Did you know that there is one food, one in particular, that can exponentially increase the risk of heart attack? In this video, thanks to the wisdom of Buddhist doctors, we will see how this food is a real poison for your heart and for your health in general, and how if you continue to take it, you will certainly live many years less than you could live. So, stay until the end of the video because you will discover the 7 reasons why you should eliminate sugar from your diet immediately. But before continuing, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Also, click on the link in the first comment and subscribe to the Telegram channel to receive discounts of up to 70% on many products before they run out. In the heart of a quiet Japanese temple, nestled among cherry blossoms and a meticulously tended Zen garden, lived a wise old Buddhist monk named Tenzin. His fame as a healer and teacher of wisdom had spread like wildfire, attracting visitors from all corners of the world, eager to learn from his words and find comfort in his presence. One morning, as the sun painted the sky with shades of gold and pink, a diverse group of people gathered in the temple courtyard. There were men and women, young and old, rich and poor, all united by their desire to hear Tenzin's lesson. The monk emerged from his quarters with a serene smile and a light step that belied his age. His eyes, deep as ancient wells, shone with a wisdom that transcended time. "Welcome, seekers of truth," Tenzin began, his voice as warm and melodious as the sound of a mountain stream. "Today, I will tell you of a subtle enemy, a poison that creeps into our lives under the guise of sweetness. This poison is sugar, a food that undermines the health of our hearts, our bodies, and our minds." A murmur arose from the crowd. Sugar, a poison? It was a surprise to many. Tenzin held up a hand, calling for silence. "I understand your perplexity," he said. "We live in an age where sugar is ubiquitous, a hidden ingredient in countless foods, even those we consider healthy. But Eastern wisdom, accumulated over millennia of observation and practice, teaches us a different truth. The healers and physicians of China and Japan have always known how harmful sugar is." Tenzin continued. "In ancient medical writings, refined sugar is described as a food that extinguishes the vital fire, that weakens the spirit, and that creates imbalance in the vital breaths. This is because sugar, in its refined form, is an empty food, devoid of essential nutrients, which our body struggles to metabolize. When we eat sugar," Tenzin explained, "our pancreas is forced to produce large amounts of insulin to lower blood glucose levels. This process, if repeated frequently, leads to exhaustion of the pancreas and a condition called insulin resistance, the prelude to type 2 diabetes. Diabetes, as you know, is a devastating disease that damages blood vessels, nerves, and organs, opening the door to heart attacks, strokes, blindness, and kidney failure. But the harms of sugar don't stop there," the monk continued in a grave tone. "Excessive sugar consumption is linked to a dramatic increase in cardiovascular disease. Sugar inflames the arteries, promotes the accumulation of atherosclerotic plaque, and increases blood pressure. Simply put, sugar is the #1 enemy of our heart, the organ that pumps life through our veins." Tenzin paused, letting his words sink in. "Our minds are also a victim of sugar," he continued. "Sugar creates a roller coaster of highs and lows in our blood sugar that affects our mood, our concentration, and our energy. Who among you has never experienced that feeling of euphoria followed by a sudden crash after eating a sweet? This is the effect of sugar on our brain, an effect that makes us addicted and robs us of our mental clarity. Our productivity, our creativity, our ability to learn and solve problems All are clouded by too much sugar, Tenzin said with a sigh. And let's not forget the reproductive problems that are increasingly prevalent in our society. Sugar alters hormonal balance in both men and women, reducing fertility and increasing the risk of complications during pregnancy. It is sad to note, Tenzin added, that many Western doctors, although they have reached conclusions similar to those of Buddhist wisdom, are held back from openly acknowledging the truth about sugar. The economic interests of multinational pharmaceutical and food companies are enormous, and the truth about sugar would put at risk a system based on profit, not on health. At this point, Tenzin stood up and invited the audience to follow him to a corner of the garden where he had set up a small table with various objects. Let me tell you the top 7 reasons why sugar is the #1 poison for the heart and overall health, he said. Sugar causes chronic inflammation. Here is a jar of refined sugar, Tenzin said, pointing to a container of white crystals. This food, when it enters our body, triggers an inflammatory response. Chronic inflammation is at the root of many diseases, including heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, and arthritis. Sugar damages blood vessels. Tenzin picked up a flexible rubber tube. Imagine this is a healthy blood vessel, he explained. Sugar makes it stiff and brittle, like this, he said, replacing the tube with one made of hard, cracked plastic. This damage to blood vessels is a major cause of heart attacks and strokes. Sugar fuels cancer cells. Here's a piece of white bread, a high glycemic food that quickly turns into sugar in our bodies. Tenzin said, cancer cells feed on sugar. By reducing our sugar intake, we deprive cancer cells of their favorite fuel. Sugar is addictive. Tenzin showed an image of the human brain. Sugar activates the same areas of the brain that drugs activate, creating an addiction that is difficult to break, he explained. This addiction drives us to consume more and more sugar in a vicious cycle that damages our health. Sugar destroys your gut microbiota. Here's a tub of yogurt, packed with live bacteria, Tenzin said. Our gut is home to an incredible variety of good bacteria that help us digest food, produce vitamins, and defend us from disease. Sugar destroys these good bacteria, encouraging the growth of harmful bacteria and causing dysbiosis, a condition linked to many health problems. Sugar accelerates aging. Tenzin picked up a fresh, juicy apple and a shriveled, dry apple. Sugar accelerates the aging process, both inside and outside our bodies, he explained. It causes glycation, a process that damages proteins and DNA, leading to wrinkles, loss of skin elasticity, and a decline in cognitive function. Sugar depresses the immune system. Here's a lemon, rich in vitamin C, Tenzin said. Sugar weakens our immune system, making us more vulnerable to infection and disease. When we consume sugar, the ability of our white blood cells to fight bacteria and viruses is dramatically reduced for several hours. These are just a few of the reasons why sugar is poison to our bodies, Tenzin concluded. The good news is that we can free ourselves from its grip. By gradually reducing our sugar intake and replacing it with healthy, nutritious foods, we can regain our health, energy, and mental clarity. Tenzin returned to the center of the courtyard, where the people stood silently absorbed in his words. The path to freedom from sugar is not easy, he admitted. It requires awareness, discipline, and a deep understanding of our bodies and minds. But it is a path worth taking, a path that leads to a longer, healthier, happier life. Remember, Tenzin said with a radiant smile, power to change is in your hands. Choose wisdom over deception, health over disease, life over poison. Your heart, your body, and your mind will thank you.